Hey everybody, Gisele Grenier here from artplace.ca. In today's video lesson, it's a quick tutorial on creating a piece of art in just a few minutes using a book of backgrounds page and a stencil with some contrasting colors. So what I've got here is I've got my book of backgrounds page. I cut it in half and I'm going to be using one piece. And I'll link that video to do this below. But basically it's just taking a stencil. I just took one of the alphabet spaghetti stencils from DecoArt, and I just use color, and like I said, you can watch that video to get that information. And I'm inspired by this stencil here, and it's called Hippy Chic stencil and mask. So what DecoArt's done is they have the stencil, which kind of kills two birds with one stone. You've got your stencil here, but then you've got the mask, which you take apart, which you end up with another stencil. So you get two. And I'm going to be using this. And my idea for this is like a little postcard. And I'm going to be doing another video with the other one because I have another idea. I like using the book of backgrounds for prototyping, for testing out ideas for bigger projects, because this is a lot cheaper if it doesn't work out. So I'm thinking like this. And then what I want to do is I'm going to darken the background. Then I'm going to create a very bright color, and I'm going to splash it on the background so it'll look like she's got paint splashes around her, but this will still be protected, so it'll still be the color. So I'm masking out where I don't want any paint to appear. Now the paint I'm going to be using for this are all transparent colors except for the white. So DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylics, Phthalo Green Yellow, Phthalo Green Blue, Quinacridone Magenta, Quinacridone Burnt Orange, phthalo blue, and titanium white. I've got some bristle brushes. I may use something else. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to do that, but I got a few bristles just to test a controlled splatter. And I'm going to get a little flat brush. And so the first thing I want to do is I want to really deepen this. Almost black, but I want to keep it more on the green side. We'll take some Quinacridone Magenta. And typically I would use alizarin crimson and phthalo green to make a chromatic black on the green or the red side. The DecoArt Media Fluid Acrylics, they don't have alizarin crimson, so I have to make my own. So Quinacridone Magenta and Quinacridone Burnt Orange, and it's roughly equal parts because it's so easy to shift. And then I'm going to go to the Phthalo Green Blue, just a little bit. Oh, and I want to test the underlying color. Now normally I would use a plain swatch sheet, but I'm using note paper just to test the transparency. I want to make sure I can still see through, and I can, but this is still too red. I'm going to bring more blue, more Phthalo Green in there. That's better. So I'm looking for a chromatic black. This is really nice. Look at that. And I like mixing my own blacks, especially for this color. It's not really I call it chromatic black, black with color. This is just a paint mixture I don't have to buy. I can make it myself. Now what I want to do, I want to get some matte medium for this. This is just to make it even more transparent without adding too much water, because if you add too much water, it's going to break down the strength of the pigment. And that's still a little bit, oh, that works out nice. Still a little bit dark, so just, there we go. If it was with using water, it would just be, it would, first of all, be really sloppy. The water would just be spewing everywhere. It'd be really thin. This way I could apply the layers evenly. Now this is going to get darker. Now one of the things with the book of backgrounds is that you've got the backgrounds already created, so it's a great way to create quick art. And not just quick art, it's when you're not really feeling, I did some videos where I wasn't feeling very well, but I wanted to be creative. Even though my body was kind of tired and I stayed in bed for so long, my mind was just get up and do something. So using the book of backgrounds is a great way of doing that. And I also want to thank everybody who sent me some well wishes. All your good vibes helped me. See how nice and dark that is? It's still really wet, but it's not sloppy. Nice and dark. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Did I just do that? Yeah, we're good. We're good. So what I want to do now is I want to let this dry. And then if I need to deepen it some more, I will. And I can still leave the paint here and work that. So that's where it touched. I just have to dry this and then we'll come back. I want to try to make it as dark as I can without losing any of the background. Now, if you don't have a book of backgrounds page, you can just work with something really, really dark. I have a sneeze that's about to... You ever have it when you want to sneeze? And oh, and you can... I mean, you can do so much with this type of style. With the stenciling, if you stencil using a heavy gloss medium, then that'll really, really stand out. Just judging where... Okay. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry. Then we come. I mean, this is so simple. We're almost done. When we come back, I'm going to put this mask on top, and then I'm gonna make up the paint to splash. That's gonna take some experimenting because I want to make sure that it's very controlled because I don't want to splash everywhere. Just maybe 3/4 of an inch outside the mask. I'm gonna just use this scrap paper. So I'm gonna use phthalo blue, phthalo green on the yellow side, and then add some white. Oh, look at that. Wow. And I want to make it lighter because acrylics dry. I gotta sneeze. Because acrylics dry darker. So I want to make this lighter than what it needs to be. A bit more of the phthalo green. Nice. All right, so I'm going to add some water to that. Not too much. I'll get that right there. Now to test I'm going to use my fingers. Typically I just like using a brush, but I really want to control this. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. And even if it doesn't, I'm not going for perfection. I should be able to do this without the stencil moving. And if it doesn't work, what do I do? Let's cover it up. And the bigger the brush that you do this with, the larger the splatter. Start out light, then add as I need. No point in getting it too heavy to start, because if it's too heavy to start and you put too much, then you're definitely going to have to do some correction work. This takes a little bit of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing this. And now what I want to do is I want to get some splashes. So I'm going to take a little bit more water with a bit of a lighter color. Just want to get larger dots. A bit more water. And how you hold the brush will determine the direction of the splatters. This is quite random. Get the palette knife and just lift up. And we'll just push that down. Whoops. I don't know if anything will come off of here. Not really. Color's too much the same. But there we go. How's that? That neat? That's it. We're finished. We're finished. I just thought it was a really quick little thing. I just wanted to experiment. This experiment was just basically, you know, what kind of brush would I need to do something like this? I think this is kind of cool. So I'm just going to let this dry now, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. So that's it. So just a simple little thing about you taking bokeh backgrounds and just using your mask. What if you don't have a mask? Find a silhouette picture that you like, whether it's a magazine or cut out a picture of a magazine, print something, cut it out, and cut it out on cardboard, and then just put that's your mask. I mean, simple, easy peasy. But I really like this. All right, so that's it. And then from here, you can journal over it. You can add embellishments, varnish it, do whatever you want with it. But this is a base for something else. Myself, personally, I'm leaving this the way it is. Because I'm thinking it'd be a really cute little something to put into a frame for very simple art. And not sure if I'm going to do anything on the back on this one. I'll reserve this background to do something on the other side. Alrighty, so let me know what you thought. Have you ever created this type of, overly simplistic art that looks really, really nice? Have you ever worked with a mask before? So comment below, let me know what you think. And so if you liked the video, comment if you have something to say. I'm hoping you let me know if you've used a mask before. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you won't miss out on anything. Now, YouTube does not send out notifications all the time. This is what people are telling me. So if you want to get weekly notifications on the videos that I do, you can hop on over to artplace.ca. On the right side, there's a little opt-in box where I send out notifications for videos and freebies and contests and stuff like that. And that way you won't miss out anything for sure. All right, that's it. I'm going to clean up and I'm going to go finish up another project. So until I see you next time, stay inspired.